Let's go grab some lunch. And then we'll get started. It's on there.
There's 12 people right now.
Hi, guys. I would tell you to go get some lunch, but I don't know how to send right through the computer. But we miss you. Everybody is online, but we're so glad you joined us. I'm talking to the Zoom people.
You're good.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's quick. That's good. You're fine.
We got that.
We're gonna get started in like 1 minute, even though they're still in the mood, because we're gonna be late. We're already 12:06. Yeah.
We're good.
Just don't we need them, these can be turned.
I'll get with her later.
She's gonna call you later. Okay. Oh, yeah, go grab I think I'm honored to have the Acre Brother team here. Okay, guys, we are gonna get started. And we have the luxury to be eating Panda Express because All Washed Up was so generous to feed us today. And they are going to be our sponsor. And so I'm going to just turn the floor over to them.
Okay, great, thank you. I'm gonna go pass this around. If you could put your business cards in there, we have a door prize for you all.
It's gasoline.
You all know that everyone could use a bit of that, so we are, hey, buy coffee with it. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you all for allowing us to do this. What I want to do is talk about the advantages of using our company and how that can relate to you and what you're doing. You're going to be interacting with customers. You're going to be looking at their houses and selling it for them. And what a lot of companies, what a lot of houses have going on is they have different pollutants get on the siding, whether it's on the siding or especially the roof. I don't know about you, but probably one of the first, if you're buying a house, one of the first things I look at when I'm looking at a house is what condition is that roof in? I know that it could be potentially, they're gonna really negotiate me down if the condition of that roof is really low. But sometimes a roof is fine, it just needs cleaning. So things around the house that look like it might need some sprucing up, you know, you're gonna take someone in the front entrance of the house and they have this growing up on there. Automatically people thinking maintenance issues, we're gonna have to get really, I wanna start negotiating down this price. Not necessarily, all this stuff is just needs cleaning. It needs that curb appeal to make it look like, so when you're bringing people out, hey, this is a great house, this is a new house. It may have some age on it, but just by sprucing up the entranceways, you can provide that, hey, this is going to be a great home for you without them needing to look at the condition of things like it's in a negative light. You can start looking at it in a positive light. Things like this are just mold, moss, nastiness like that grows up in the grout lines of a brick. Spruce it up. Sidewalks, you know, it's most people when they're walking to a house, most people don't look up, they're looking down. You look at the front entrance and you get all this black mildew on there. These are things that you can spruce up the house to help it get to basically the curb appeal of offering a better value for the house. So for brick cleaning, siding. And look at that's it's like the green monster. All that is mildew and mold. And that actually for a lot of people, that's a concern, not just for them in terms of the aesthetics of it, but most people, when they think of mold and mildew, they're thinking that could be a health issue. All this stuff gets thoroughly treated by our company and gets it, looks like new. And the process we use keeps the warranties intact on your siding, on your roofs, things like this. We use manufacturer processes and we're insured. So you're not just going with a fly-by-nighter who could potentially damage your stuff. And then now you're trying to sell something that's damaged and those people disappear. We've been in this company for 11 years, 12 years. I think we're in our 12th year now. We have a lot of experience. We've washed thousands of houses in Lynchburg, tens of thousands. Gutters, another example, gets black streaking. The ridge line of that house, when it's really fogged up like this with that black streaking, you can barely even notice there's a nice roof line to it. This brightens it up with some hand scrubbing on the gutters, little basement stairwell. I mean, imagine taking a customer down that basement where you're like, yeah, well, here's a great house. You know, there's like a horror film waiting behind that door. So, but again, they look great. That's just with a little bit of treatment, some power washing. Deck, again, another example where just the appearance of age, that's what that looks like. It looks aged, but just with the right tools and the right know-how, get it brighten up, get it where it's actually looking new. Little thing, accoutrements around the house, things like that, brick. And this is where increasing the home's value. I wish, I don't know if there's a roof. Oh, here's a good one, roof. Because roof is really, in my mind, one of the better values of what we offer, because roof cleaning, we're using a soft wash system on roofs, does not damage the roof. If we can even help it, we're not even going to get on the roof. So if we can get it from the roof line, it's going to be applied to the roof line. Stuff like this, where it looks like it's aged, most customers going to ask you, like, what's up with that roof? And there's even worse scenarios like that, where you can see here, a good example of it. You got all that white is lichen, it deteriorates the roof. So most people, when they're looking at the lichen and the moss, the mold buildup on a roof, rightly, they're thinking, this looks bad. Why would I want to buy a house, or or are they going to negotiate you down in your price because, oh, I need to get a $10,000 roof on that thing. You don't. A little bit of education, a little bit of right application of cleaning, you can get it looking great. So like I said, we've washed thousands of houses in the past. We're kind of like your trusted experts in this. We're insured. We carry $2 million of coverage. So doing these houses, whether in Rivermont area, really these old houses that might have problems, having a company, going with a company that's insured, that can actually make sure that if something does happen, you're covered with us. And also the fact that we have the experience, we have pretty rigorous training programs to make sure quality is up to par. These guys, Ryan and Andrew, with our company 11 years. And I think, we're talking about keeping fellows that are actually up to working in this day and age is pretty difficult. To get the guys that are experienced, that can rejuvenate these homes. And what's the main value that's offering to you? You're not paying a penny. Individually, you're offsetting these costs to your customer and talking about the value of doing that, of rejuvenating the home prior to their selling. And in our company, we try to build in scheduling. Your customer needs to go tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 3 days, whatever it is. They need to get this done. We have built-in flexibility with their schedule to handle your requests. So someone says, hey, realtors come and take photos. You guys need to take photos of the house. We need these done pronto. We can take care of you. And so that's kind of the main, I would say, asset of our company, is that we can add that value back to the home without people negotiating down your price just because of perception. Because at the end of the day, for many people, perception is reality. So let's try to get it to where it has that uplift, get that roof looking great, looking new, get that siding looking new, get that foundation work looking new, the bricks, sidewalks, things like that. And then go with a company that's going to actually have your back. We're insured. If anything happens, we're not going away. We've been in this company for a while. So any questions for me as far as what we do, advantages we offer to you, anything like that? Yes.
I just wanted to say, I used you guys last year for put my own house in the market and did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
And really pleased and impressed with what you did. The sidewalks, the vinyl siding, the brickwork, everything was brand new. And then I was wondering if you could talk about I know y'all hate to do this, but what would be a ballpark figure if you wanted to do the, 1-car or 2-car garage? It's just ballpark.
Oh, it's coming.
That's
That's
coming.
coming next.
Yeah, David is the concrete expert.
Okay.
Yes,
So you have a soft wash system, so that way you don't potentially hurt the siding, the roofing of a house.
Yes.
That's great. I was always curious, is the chemical compound in the soft wash going to be hazardous to the greenery or any of the plants or anything like that?
good question. So technically, yes, if I were to do like a high concentration of this cleaner and just dumped it in your grass, it would do something. And almost any cleaner would. You take Dawn's dish soap, you could kill grass with it. But really, the process we use, plant protection, we take very seriously as a company. And one of the reasons why we run the 2-man crews and our crews is actually for plant protection. So before anything gets done on the house, they're giving all the vegetation around the house a good drink of water. And then as soon as they spray with that cleaner on the siding, everything's getting rewatered again. For that process, I've been in the company 15 months, 16 months now. We've not had a single incident. Only time where I'd say where the risk is a little bit higher is say in a drought season. Because everything's sucking up everything like a dry sponge. But really, we have a guarantee as far as that goes, but we're one of the few companies that actually take that very, very seriously. Whether certain plants need to be covered, and we know which those plants are that need to be covered, and then certain plants just need a good water before you start the process. So yes, it is safe. The way we do it is safe, but like most cleaners, if you were to just dump 100% strength in your grass, okay, yeah, it could be harmful. But the way we do it is we've not had a single issue.
And I think most times when the homeowner does it, they're just using a power wash, where if you have a professional, like the first time I had a professional with that chemical, whatever it is, I was like, oh, and gee,
Yeah.
what a difference.
Because you could kind of think about it like this: when you have mildew on the house and you're just using pressure, all you are is pushing mildew around, right? When you use a treatment that actually kills the mildew, I've had a lot of customers where they're telling me, I wash my house, power wash my house every year because it gets black and green. I'm like, it gets black and green on you in 1 year? Because they're not removing all of it. They're taking off a layer and they're leaving a layer behind. And now when you get this humid months in the summertime, it's just growing exponentially. But with the treatment we're doing, actually kills the mildew. So you're not having to risk that to your.
And so what really helps with you guys is that we're gonna make your customer think that you're the hero, because we're gonna get to you really quick. Like right now, we've got $90,000 worth of wash jobs lined up waiting to happen. You call us with your customer, we might be able to wash him in 2 days, because we're gonna move you to the front of the list. So make you look good to your customer, and you don't spend anything. Things sell really fast right now, but why not make it sell really fast and get more for it because it looks good?
Right,
When it looks good on the outside, they think you took care of the inside too.
right.
Yep. Pretty highly reviewed as well. So, all our customers give us feedback on our work. Heavily awarded in town as well. The readers of Home Magazine, Living Best in Lynchburg, a local newspaper. We've won these awards multiple, kind of a good benchmark quality with us. So like I said, kind of that point of the fly-by-nighters, if something goes wrong, what happens is they just disappear. Something gets damaged, something goes wrong. Not only are they not usually punctual with arriving, getting you a quote, we can get you a quote the same day that you give us a request. We can get you back on that list and get to you within a couple of days. So that's kind of the main advantages. You guys talking about our insurance, $2 million of coverage. And we did talk about that. So let me just, I think we're done with our slide, and next is with David. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you so much.
Is there more slides? Because I need.
Just a couple more.
Oh,
Sorry.
Are you all finished here?
yeah.
Business card?
All right, so I'm David Hamel.
Anybody not in here?
I own both companies. We grew the washing side so big that I started something else called All Sealed Up. We do concrete floors, and we can put it on any kind of concrete that's flat. We can't do stamped concrete, but we do a lot of garages. We do man caves, basements, sidewalks, patios. We're not doing epoxy. Epoxy, the difference between what we do in epoxy, we use polyaspartic. Epoxy invented in World War II to put on battleships. Polyaspartic is invented in early 2000s. It's 6 times stronger than epoxy. It's UV stable, so that's why we can use it outside. You couldn't use epoxy outside. It turns this funky yellow color. You probably sold a house where it's got windows in the garage and it looks a weird color over by the windows. That's what's happened there. It's also, you'll get hot tire pickup. That's where you roll in. Your tire's really hot in the summer and they park right here. They glue to the floor. When you back up, it pulls the epoxy off. You won't get that with our product either. Epoxy takes 2 days to put on, then you have to stay off it for 5, so you're out of your garage for a week. Ours, we can do your garage in 1 day, you can park on it the next. So I'm gonna give you some samples to look at. So like there's, okay, we can do vanity colors. You can be UVA or you can be Virginia Tech. Pass those around so you can see how it feels. Or if you want to be Redskins or you want to do a Liberty color. Just so you get a feel for it. But we've got a whole variety of different colors that you can look at. I'll send those ones just so you get a feel for it. If you have go to our website on your phone, we've got a visualizer. You can take a picture of your garage, your man cave, whatever, and you can see all the different colors on your spot. So real quickly going through, like here's a front porch we did. When I first started this, I thought I'm doing all Brookstone houses and stuff. That's not been the case at all. We do, I can't tell you how many carports we do. If somebody's got a 70s house they're trying to make look new, we put a new carport floor on it. We do a front porch and their sidewalk. They've opened up the inside and enlarged it, took some walls out, and it looks gorgeous now. There's a screen and porch we did. This is the sidewalk. Here's a garage within a garage. We make the front edge look really pretty where it meets the drive. There's a patio. Put it in your basement. You don't know what you want in a basement. You don't want carpet. It smells musty. Tile usually cracks. This looks good in the basement. We got to grind the top of the floor off. We're going to take off about 6 millimeters. That grinder weighs about 1,000 pounds. I got diamond blades hooked to a vacuum system. Vacuum all up really good. Then if there were cracks, we're going to grind those deeper and wider, fix them with a special kind of mender that if I just left it glop on the floor in 10 minutes, you couldn't beat it off with a hammer. It's going to, the concrete will break and come up first. So strong this stuff is. Then we're going to put a base coat on. We're going to, do brushes on the edges and roll middle. And then we're going to start whatever color flake you chose. We're going to throw that up in there, let it flutter down, try to lay flat into that. After an hour and a half it'll cure. We'll come back and we'll use these long handled metal floor scrapers, and we're going to scrape the excess flake off. And if any was dried up and down instead of laying flat, we'll shave it off so you can walk on it barefoot comfortably. Vacuum that up, put the top layer on. This was out in Ivy Lake. This guy we got one color, it's got little blue flakes, and he painted the back wall of his garage an accent color of blue. Never saw anybody ever do that before. About a month later, I drove by and his door was open. I was looking in there and he had this big monster TV with surround sound. And he was sitting in a kayak and he was watching a river. He was practicing his paddle. He says, I'm making this my biggest room in my house. My wife gets inside, I get outside. So he was all happy. So just how it turns out when we get done. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous floor. Yes.
What's the life expectancy for a floor?
We're going to warranty this. Never going to yellow. We're going to give you 5 years. It's not going to chip, peel, delaminate. I warranty it. Some people give you a lifetime warranty. Those people are crazy. I'm a realist. But I warranty it like I don't know what you're going to do. And some people play auto mechanic for the whole neighborhood in their garage. They got air tools and jacks and they just abuse it. Normal wear and tear in 15 years, it's still going to look just about as good as it does now. It's really, really strong stuff. Yes.
So do you do like commercial concrete spaces?
Yes, we can. Somebody asked, yeah, you can go ahead. I'm done. Somebody asked about a typical 2-car garage. If you've got say a 500 square foot typical 2-car garage, you're looking somewhere between 3,000, 3,500, depending on how much repairs we have to do to the floor, because we can fix the cracks and make it look like you never had a crack. You got a chunk broken off at a control joint or something, we can fix that, make it look like it was never damaged. It's perfect from the get-go. So what kind of questions you got?
A smooth surface?
If you want a smooth surface, we can do it without the flake in it, or we can put multiple coats of the polyaspartic on top, but it'll be slick. So most people I talk out of doing that just because it's a safety issue.
You can use the one color, flake.
You can
do
use,
the one color
you
flake?
can do that. I had one guy who wanted white base coat with white flake on his driveway. I said, it's gonna look like it snowed out here. Made him a sample. He said, it's not white enough yet. I don't know what you want. I said, you're gonna have to wear sunglasses. You're gonna mow your grass and you're gonna drive your lawnmower across your driveway and you're gonna leave green marks going across. But we can do it to just about any color. You want to get, lady the other day wanted a copper color. There's a copper color. But any other questions?
Any other? Thank y'all so
All right.
much.
Yeah, all right, we gotta do a door prize. All right, so we'll see who gets the door prize.
No.
Kate,
Loves winning stuff. For $5 Starbucks. In fact, she said she capped and she still needs her $5 peppers.
You got it.
she got it. Okay,
All right, I'm missing one tile somewhere.
I tried.
A Redskin fan, obviously.
that's,
Well, thank you for
we
letting us,
appreciate you.
thanks for letting us speak to you
Thank
today.
you. Okay, Caleb,
All right.
come on down.
I can go first this time?
Yeah, we like to shake things up.
All right. All right, not gonna take up much of your sales meeting, and I posted this on your group Facebook page, but I want to keep pounding in your head that we've come out with a Loan First Plus program, which essentially is if you have a customer that's really worried about interest rates, we can lock them in before they get under contract. So there's two options. We can lock them in for either 90 days or 120 days to the program. And what they need to do before we can lock them in, those we put them through underwriting ahead of time. So have them apply, have them send all their documents to us, send them through underwriting. And once they're done through underwriting, they'll get their approval. We'll issue a commitment letter. So that's where it's good for you guys as the realtors, is you'll have a little bit more advantage. You'll have commitment letter instead of pre-approval.
You can probably close in 30 days.
Oh, we can close in 30 days in any contract.
Okay,
We can close in a week.
it depends who your title company is, but okay.
Yeah, I say a lot of it depends on the appraiser, how quickly we can influence them out there, but,
Yeah.
yeah, 30 days, that's not giving us any credit.
Can be closed in 2 weeks.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we can close in 2 weeks.
Is there an added cost to the
So,
90 day or
yes.
120 day lock?
So, and this is where it comes into where when someone calls, you really want to see how serious they are about buying a house, because if they're just kind of shopping around, looking, oh, if I find the right one, I want to purchase it. All right, cool, but then if they're like, no, I need to move, I'm buying a house within the next 3 months, just find me a house. Then that's where they come to me, they pay a 1/4% fee up front. So if it's gonna be, say, $500,000 loan amount, it'll be $1,250 up front. And if they close, that gets reimbursed. So if they don't end up closing in that 90-day period, that's why I said they need to be serious, because then they're gonna be out that $1,250. So it's a really good program if they're serious, they're ready to move. Like I said, we'll get them through underwriting, we'll get the commitment letter. Have me call up the listing agent and say, hey, got these people, they're already approved, they're serious, their rate's locked in, they're ready to go. There's no reason that this loan is not gonna close in 2 weeks, however long it takes to get that appraisal in.
Now, they have to be under contract or closed in 90 days.
They have to close. So if we need to extend it, we can extend it a little bit, but they are paying more. And what happens is the rates are a little bit higher. So if they go for 90 days, it's gonna be 1/8% higher. So if they're at 5%, they would be at 5.125%. And that's basically, they know that they're locked into that rate. However, if they found a house the next week, they get under contract to close in 30 days or less, and current pricing hasn't gone up or down, they can float back down to that normal pricing. So it's kind of a guaranteed, you're locked into this rate, it's not gonna go higher than this. Or if rates go down or they stay the same and they get into that 30, 60-day window of closing, they'll float back down.
But once,
Just
one
Yeah,
time.
one time float down.
That is a good deal.
It's a really, really good deal, and I'm encouraging everyone, that's why I keep beating it to your heads every time I talk to you guys, that there's really not a downfall to it. Because if they want to get locked in, one, it's a good way for you to encourage them to go through underwriting ahead of time to make their offers a little bit stronger, knowing that they've already been approved. And then on top of that, if rates don't go up, they can always float back down and they'll get reimbursed at closing. So it's a good way to kind of lock in your customers if they're on the, if you think they're serious, but I don't know, I don't want to go to the next step yet, bring them to me. I'll be happy to talk through this program with them. It's not really, there really isn't a downfall. The only downfall is if for some reason they buy a house, they don't decide not to buy a house. But okay, I'm gonna end up moving to Connecticut. And I can't go with McLean anymore.
Okay,
Other than that, really good program.
thank you.
I don't want to take up too much more of your time, so if you have any questions about that, please come to my office, send me a text, call me. And real quick, do you mind if I say one thing?
No,
Okay. I've had a couple of people recently that have been, the realtor say, hey, I've had someone that they want to put an offer on a house tonight, like in an hour, they're done accepting offers at midnight. Well, not midnight, but when they're done, they're just a really close crunch time, and they don't have access to their W-2s or their pay stubs. So they wouldn't be able to get pre-approved. Don't let that scare you if for some reason they open up and tell you, we have an underwriting software to where if they're paid through direct deposit and they can link their bank accounts to our system, we can use their bank statements and the direct deposits to calculate their income. So it's as close as you can get to a no document loan, because all they do is link their bank account. At that point, they wouldn't need their W-2s. They don't need they would be uploading their bank statements. They would only need pay stubs. They don't need anything else. And really, if someone's in that time frame where they don't have any time and they don't think, oh, I can't call my employer to get my W-2s, or I can't find them laying around, don't lose hope. I mean, send them to me, see if we can get them approved that way. And it takes, at that point, they fill out an application and they link their bank account, so we can get them pre-approved in 15-20 minutes. So it's a really quick process, and I didn't when I first came to McLean, I was like, oh, there's no way that's gonna work. And I've gotten a couple people pre-approved that way. So it's new. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae have they've been tweaking it for the past couple of years, but now they finally got to that point where we're seeing it come around more often, where people are able to get approved without sending any extra documentation.
that's awesome.
So
Thank
that's all I
you.
have
Okay.
today. Thank you, guys.
That's great. Tina Fryer and Chip Duff, come on down. On the KW right.
So we talked about the vision at the beginning of the year, and I have asked Alice if I could once a quarter kind of give the update on where we are in the vision and what we have accomplished so far, and also what we want to accomplish in the future. So one of the things that we want to accomplish now and going forward this year is to really get our commercial department going. And I am not asking you guys to all go out and be commercial agents, although you can be in the state of Virginia, you can be a commercial agent. I don't feel like in my fiduciary duty that I know enough about commercial to do that job really well. And I think that Chip, I've actually hired Chip to help my husband find lots, to help us in the Keller Williams to look at offices. And I'm going to pay Chip for that service because I think
That's the best part.
yeah, and I'm happy. I paid Gary Case last time. I'm like, that doesn't feel good. Let's keep it in-house. So Chip has been with us, but I don't think we all really understand and know this resource. So Chip, I'd like for you to kind of say who you are, what your plan is, what you're
Sure.
doing right now, and
Well, I
what
came on
you
board-
want to do in the future.
Yeah, so thank you for that, Tina. I came on board a couple of years ago, about the time COVID reared its big ugly head, and that changed the world for a lot of people. And Teresa was more guiding things at that point, and I had come on board to really start a commercial division. And it kind of got tabled on the side, and then I got busy. I also developed some properties too. If you've been down 221, has anybody been to the backyard?
Oh, yeah.
Put that together. And the properties along there with it, the old Duval Automotive site, we sold that to DNX. So I've been around doing that and working on my broker's license in the off time. Once Tina kind of took more of the helm of this, we started to talk about getting this going again. So I've been in this business about 20 years. I worked for a company in Richmond called Taylor Lawn Properties, and I was the regional manager for those guys covering the whole state of Virginia. So I've probably seen more of the good and the bad, the ugly out in the commercial world than you really want to see. And those deals are very complicated and they're all different. And there's always something hiding in the weeds on those deals. When you think they're easy to do and put together, they can go 12, 18 months to get paid. So I would love to work with any of you guys. I've worked with some of the people here to help them. I've worked with Nanette Turner to help with her building, with you. If you've got something you want to maybe consider putting on the market or talking about, I'm here to help you guys do that. I don't know that we would be co-listing it so much together. I'd really rather you guys just refer it to me and make 25%. And the reason for that is it's a lot of different work on that side that I have to do. And the other question is, how many houses can you sell in the meantime while I'm fudging around with this? So it keeps you guys kind of on what you're focused on, allows me to do what I feel like I'm best at. We just did a real nice deal in the building on 811, if you're familiar with where the Virginia Dance Academy is. That building's been for sale for what, maybe 2 years with different brokers. We got it under contract in 6 days. So that's going to be a nice new location. We've got a couple of other things we're doing. Website is being built. If you go to talktochip.com, it'll roll over to Virginia Commercial Advisors, and you can find it there. And I also have a KW Commercial email too. It's chipped up at KW Commercial. So if you want to hit me up there, but I would welcome any of you guys input if you have something you'd like some help with, or if you want to find a deal and bring it in. I'm going to be spending some time with the Danville office, the Roanoke office here. I have an office on 221 that I work out of for my development company. But just to see if we can maybe get something generating here to really ultimately try to build a commercial division and get it off the ground. So I just want to say hello, and I appreciate the confidence Tina's shown, and I'd love to work with any of you guys we can.
And if any of you have ever called a commercial agent, you might not get a call back. And if you do get a call back, it's 2 days or more. If they operate very differently, don't call them weekends, nights. Chip answers the phone weekends, nights. I think he's going to feel more user friendly.
And one of the biggest deals I ever
Most folks in
got
town.
was answering the phone on the Saturday.
Right.
And a guy called it in the building here, lived in California. He called every broker that had stuff on LoopNet, which is commercial database. I talked to him by Monday morning. I had the property cleaned up, had cars towed away, had it locked up for him. So by the time these other guys were answering the phone, we were so far ahead of these guys. We got the listing sold. So one thing with me, I will call you back pretty quick. If you call me or text me or need me, I'm usually around. But I just want to say it's happy to be working with you guys. And let's throw some stuff at the wall and see where it goes.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
thanks. Let's actually go to the next slide, and then we're going to come back to that. So one of our visions was 20% market share. Our top teams. So I wanted to just share this. This was my 9 o'clock call with Region this morning. As operating principals, we get on the call once a week. And there are 30 offices in the state of Virginia, West Virginia. And we were on the leaderboard. Alice, this is so much a team, but it was so exciting to see our names and lights. And when you think about it, I mean, we're up there with Arlington McLean. These are huge brokerages in Northern Virginia. And so our gross agent net agent was 6. So yeah, we were in the top teams, top market center. So good job, guys. Part of that team is Audrey. She is really helping us with that case pool and getting folks in. If you know of anybody that wants to get their license, that's the free program. And Audrey's been really helping Alice get that moving, and we're very, very appreciative. One of the other big successes that we've had this quarter, and I am thrilled, as I feel like we have education back in the building and we are here. Dan Calloway, thank you so much. He is just running with our productivity, and he's also been so kind to offer a night class once a month to our dual career. Once a week. Sorry. And then Nanette has stepped up. She is teaching classes on Tuesdays. On Tuesday. Sorry. That's right, because and we've had our first contract class back in person. I'm really appreciative of that. Alicia has agreed to do some offsite. So we have these wonderful places in Farmville and the lake. So Alicia's going to go once a month and do some training there. Teresa Grant has also agreed to do some offsite training for us at the lake at Farmville. So that's really just helpful to keep us all together as we're all so spread out. So lots and lots of great things on the calendar. Thank you. I know you all are working hard. I know I'm throwing ideas. And guys, when you tell me and when you tell us, it's happening. Like someone just said, I want a land class. So I've got Shannon Sims teaching in June. She's going to show us her app and how she uses it and all that. So when you tell me, I am listening and we are making it happen. So excited about all these things. They're great, great things. One of the things we talked about in our vision of 2022 is concierge. My original vision on this is that I would hire a person, they would sit in the building. But when I went to family reunion, I went to a class called 2.0, and that's all the upcoming futuristic stuff, apps and what people are using and where everything's going. And there was presented Keys Please. And Keys Please is a system that market centers can join up, and think of it as Venmo. So you're at the beach and you're like, I need a household. I'm not on a team. I'm Tracy. I'm a team of one. How do I get that house? Now you might have a relationship with Joel, but what if Joel's out doing something else?
She's got a bigger life than I do.
Well, so how do you, get or you're just showing something else, or you're playing soccer with your kids. So it's a system where there is a 14% charge to the hiring agent, 2% to the person that takes it. And you honestly could even use it within your top teams if I don't know what systems you have. So they're rolling it out. It's not quite there yet, but I think this is probably what we'll do. You could use it for opening for a termite, or if you need an inspector, and you as the agent set the price. If you're just opening the door and you want to say $25 and someone accepts that, great. All the money just happens. Nothing goes through the market center. Beautiful thing. If you are the showing agent, you might say, I'm new to the business. I'd just like $50 cash so I can go fill up my car and make it another week. You can accept that. Or you may say, you know what? My wife's out of town and I've got all Saturday free. So maybe I'll take 3 or 4 of them and go show property and make $200. So that's coming down the pike as soon as they're trying to figure out the legalities of 1099s, W-2s and all that good stuff. That was a Keller Williams agent. A Keller Williams agent saw the need, went out and developed an app. They have 200 market centers that are using it. They're getting the kinks out and they're going to roll it out to us. And then the other part of concierge is we're going to look at Cyberbacker, and Skylar is Skylar in the building? Yes, he is using a firm that he just found out about, and they actually get into command and can do all good things for us. So if you want to know about a virtual person that can get you contract to close, Skylar, and then if you want to talk to me about Cyberbacker, both of those could work for you if you need some leverage in your life.
It's a transaction, TC.
Yeah.
Coordinator.
Yeah. So those are just a couple updates. Keep it short, but we're doing great things, and I really appreciate this team that is really just kind of come and rallied and moving forward. Lots of stuff we still want to do, but we're doing good things.
Okay,
That's the
thank you.
update.
Thank you.
Sorry, one last thing.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. Great job on the ALC committee and the amazing time we had at the Virginian. That backdrop is going to go into this vacant office back here. Shalaya is ordering the light that we borrowed from somebody that you can put your phone in. Who?
Kelly.
Kelly. So Kelly, actually, if you want to give Shalaya just a connection to it. Anyways, it's going to be set up there. If you want to do any post, if you want to do a video, if you want to go talk about something in the market, and like that Keller Williams backdrop, it's all going to be set up in there so you can go and do that whenever you want. I'm actually going to do one with Caleb. As soon as he told us that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go pull him in that room and be like, hi, Caleb, explain this program to me. And then I'm going to post that video. So it's there for anyone to use.
The happening room. Happening room. Kate Pryor, you're up, sweetie.
Right. So we are very excited about Red Day. If you guys don't know what Red Day is, it's a service day that Keller Williams does. And they basically all around the US is on day, May 12th. And we just serve our communities. And it's a way to give back, to get to connect with people in the community. So this year, same date, we're doing May 12th. It's a Thursday. We did 2 shifts last year, and that seemed to work really well. So we did 9:15 to 12:15, and then we did our 12:15 to 3:15. So what we're gonna do is afterwards, if anyone wants to go after the morning shift, you can go anywhere you want. But we were, as a group, to kind of all be able to hang out from the first shift, we're gonna all go to Waterstone Pizza, eat outside, hopefully if it's nice.
So we start passing this.
That's the signups for the
The
2
other one
different
too.
shifts. And then for the, yes, and then for the afternoon shift, we'll go to El Jefe afterwards. So, and if you want to go to both, you can. So, but we just wanted everyone to kind of know what the plan was so you could hang out together after. And we're going to be partnering with Lighthouse. We partnered with them last year and doing kind of some of the similar things. But it was neat to kind of talk with her, and she shared about the vegetable gardens some people had done last year. And she said all summer long, different people from the community would grab different vegetables. She was like, nothing ever went to waste. And so she was like, we're really excited to have you guys partner again, just to kind of these different things that we have, this crisis home, this veterans home, and this whole, they have basically a counseling center that's going to be available to the community. And so we're just helping beautify those spaces. So we would also love donations to make it happen. We're going to have mulch. We're going to have flowers. We want plants that last. We want something that just doesn't die, and then next year they don't have bushes and landscape there. So we would love to have some funds for that. We have some with Keller Williams, but we would love donations. So anyone who feels like, hey, I'd love to give to this, we would love for you. You can either do a check made out to Keller Williams, give it to Crystal. You can give cash to Crystal, or if you want to do an
No, cash to me.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding.
Or you can do an e-card. I would say do it to Lowe's if you're going to do the e-gift card. Use Lowe's, and you can make that. You can email that to me or to Audrey. I mean, not Audrey, Amber. And she posted in the closed Facebook. So we're really excited about it. We had about 30 people come out last year. So I'd love to have even more people come out and just support Lighthouse in our community.
And if you do not have your Red
Oh,
Day
yeah.
shirt already, we need this by
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. We need your size because we have to get them ordered. So if you still have yours from last year and know where it is, don't order another one, please. And because you already have one, if you need one, sign up.
Can you pass that around too, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
And for those of you that don't know, Martha Brown is who Kate's been talking to with Lighthouse Ministry, and she was a Keller Williams agent, and she was a producing agent. She was making 6 figures, and she stopped selling real estate, and her heart was in this downtown ministry, and yeah, that's what she does.
Okay, before I get to the April birthdays, as much as it's so important to have another birthday, I have 2 people in the room. Cody, could you stand up, please? And Francie. These wonderful, lovely people have decided to put their career in real estate. So Cody is 99.9% sure joining the Cornerstone Group with Randy Higgins. And then she's still deciding, but after today, I know she's gonna decide because she's gonna love our energy and everything. So I invited them to the sales meeting so they could actually see our culture. So thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you for inviting us.
Jamie Higgins, Kimberly Cheek, Carol Massey, Keller's in the room. Megan Templeton, Christian Gathright, Elizabeth Say, and she works with Tina, and then Trey Grant. So happy birthday. So a couple of people, is Fallon in the room? Fallon was with us, left, she's back. Joan Pennell, Welcome to Keller Williams. Justin Campbell, he works for Verizon full-time, and he's already put an offer on a house, like with the help of Dan Calloway, I think. Yeah, well, Dan wrote it, but anyway, is it ratified? He has not even been here 7 days and already wrote an offer. Bam. Okay, oops, sorry, I do that all the time. Okay, oh wait, back. First closing, Kyle. Here's one for you. Jonathan Macbeth, one transaction capped. Dude, that's amazing. Jamie Higgins. Showing off. First listing. And Annie Posey. Okay, cappers, Mandy Walker, Jonathan Macbeth, Kate Fryer, Kim Folks, Roxanne Harrison, our principal broker capped, Scott Fogelman. Make sure you get your capper pen and Starbucks gift card from Sean. Okay. So who's number one? We are. I do this every time. We print these sheets up front. We want you to take these. It tells our story when you're out there getting a listing against a competitor. You just kind of slide it across and say, I know you want to work with the number one company. So kind of easy peasy. So there it is. All right. We got some more BAMs. So year over year, all-time record listings sold volume, we're up 21.4% year over year.
Wow.
All-time record closed units year over year, we're up 33%. Closed sales volume, bam, money, up 38%. Average sales price up 4%. Sales, yeah. And closed GCI, an all-time record of 33% year over year. Okay, so we do this little first quarter, we do a thing, who the top agent is and who the top team is. So first quarter, she could not be here today. She had a conflict. But Carol Dinsmore, for those who do not know her, she's an agent that completely works her butt off, but she's in a corridor that a lot of us don't even want get in the car and go that far. So she knows that Farm Bill corridor like the back of her hand. So if you have anything in Farm Bill, like we discussed with Chip, referrals can be a good thing. You just hand it straight to Carol and you're going to get 25%. So don't forget, we have that resource right in the market center. So she's obviously doing really well. She is our top producer for first quarter 2022. Please congratulate Carol Dinsmore.
I just sent her along with her professor that was buying with me in Trent's Landing, and I just said, do you have an agent already? And they said no, and I got 2,500. She made $10,000 on the $500,000 house, and it was literally, it took me 10 minutes. I got paid $2,000 for 10 minutes of work.
Awesome.
Yeah, and people don't remember that she's out there. She's kind of all by herself because we don't have an office out there. Amelia.
Yeah, Amelia.
All that area.
Yeah.
She wide circle.
Okay, so top team for first quarter 2022 is the Angry Brothers team. And thank you for showing up at this meeting. I know somebody's out and about selling something. So anyway, thank you for all y'all do and I just gotta do a quick shout out to Greg, bless his little heart. And his big guy body. Anyway, we love you, Greg, and he worked his little butt off for the awards banquet. He was given a prestigious award of Rookie of the Year, and because of running around circles, the cake we ordered wasn't there. He was running around to get another cake. Then somebody decides to hit him in the parking lot, so he gets in a car accident, and then his daughter gets sick, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So he wasn't even there to receive his award, but please know, right, Kate? He did so much to instrument with Joelle, with Kate and Amber. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. We're gonna have a couple of brokerage updates, so I'm gonna have Mr. Sheriff come up.
Well, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but can anybody tell me what's wrong with the sign?
It's not you.
Anybody know?
Right.
There's no brokerage. Well, actually, you know what? There is a brokerage. Can you read it?
Yeah.
I can't read it. Right there, Dalton and Company. Now, again, I don't really want to embarrass anybody, but that sign obviously is a clear violation. The rule on the signs is a little bit vague. It basically says, DPOR says it must be legible from the street. I was going 25 miles per hour when I saw the sign. I probably wasn't even going that fast, and I had to stop and back up 2 or 3 times to figure out what the. I was going to cuss. I'm not gonna cuss, but-
No, we don't do that. Not our fault.
So I actually had to get out of the car and take a picture and zoom in order to see it. So I just want to make sure that, we know about violations, because recently we've had a few, not only is a problem in the whole Lynchburg area, but there's been a situation with violations here in our, with our firm. I want to make sure everyone's in compliance, because I don't want anybody getting fined. You get reported to DPOR, they'd be very happy to take your money and say thank you for their taking your check. So I wanted to go through a couple of things, make sure that we're all in compliance. So the biggest thing is all advertising must be in direct supervision. So I guess I'm somewhat lucrative, and we're very lucky and very fortunate here at Keller Williams. Like my first company I went to, I was given the choice of a white sign writer or a black sign writer that would have my advertising with their sign. Keller Williams will allow you to use your own signs, create your own direct, your own designs, do whatever you want to do, but we do have to follow the rules and the guidelines based upon DPOR. So if you have any questions about several of you have been great about Silver, and usually I can approve it within a couple hours. It usually doesn't take very long. So any kind of business cards, any kind of signs, any of those designs, please just let me see. You actually can download the KW Lynchburg logo. It's on on our internet site. I've seen a lot of people do kind of neat little designs where they'll have their logo and the KW Lynchburg logo side by side. I guess the general rule of thumb is if you're going to have your logo, have the KW logo about the same size as that logo. So a couple other places where you're going to advertise, such as electronic media. You want to make sure there's an agent up in Northern Virginia. He was advertising listings on his personal Facebook page. Well, unfortunately, he advertised a lot of listings on his personal Facebook page, and he ended up with a $250 fine per listing he advertised. So it added up pretty quickly. So even if you're putting stuff on your personal page, make sure to reference Keller Williams in there somewhere. If you're going to do a listing, a great way to do it maybe is take a listing and send it to your website. That way it says KW. Your website will have a KW displayed, and that way it'll just link right into it. It has to be within one click. Any kind of electronic media has to be within one click, has to be able to find your brokerage information. Can you switch to the next
Yeah, I
slide?
can.
So going back about the for sale signs and lease signs placed on property shall include but not be limited to the firm's name, firm's primary or branch office telephone number. So just gotta make sure you have our name and telephone number on there that's clearly displayed in any type of advertising. And this also goes with business cards and other items. Now, if you're using a blog post, also be very careful, because your status of the properties has to be updated. So if you write blogs, Then you have to go back in and say this home, like you say, you write a great blog post about this new listing you got coming up. House goes under contract, so you gotta go back to the post and say this house is sold. And so you just have to remember these types of things when you work. And I see something. So it must be updated, but your broker can't hear you cringing over there. So anyway, let's just be in compliance. I don't want to see anybody get fined. You know, I don't really want to call some DPOR. Does everyone know? I mean, you're all familiar with DPOR. And if you've ever had a call from them, it's really exciting. It really is. So,
Yeah, it's like the lawyer calling.
yeah, it is.
2 years ago, there was an agent that called me and he had had some issues with D4. And his real issue was he didn't put the company's, anything about the company on his postcard. He was mailing postcards. Well, D4R called him and then he got snotty with him. Because I happened to be there. He asked me to come in and be with him. They fined him 10 grand.
And, you know, as Alice has already mentioned, we're #1, so that means people are kind of looking for us to do something wrong and report it. So please be compliant. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. Thank you.
Okay, Virginia Realtor contract. Who in here uses that, if ever? Okay, is it up on top?
It's been submitted. It's
Okay.
not done
We,
yet.
it has been submitted. It changed like this a week ago. It has been updated in .loop. We're just waiting
So in the format.
for them to format it. So biggest changes are, remember the Bureau of Insurance situation where the buyer basically picks the closing office and there's some situation where the seller can't have their own title versus the buyer have their own title. So there's a whole section on that now in the Virginia Realtor contract. So just make sure if you use it, you start to look at that. There's gonna be some language. I will probably get with Scott and do a class on this. We're gonna have to squeeze it in because we already have a May calendar, but I don't want y'all to wait till June. So we'll pick a day to do a class on it. Basically, it's gonna have a blank for the sellers when you're presenting to say that the seller won't have to pay any more than this. Because what's happening is if the seller doesn't have the opportunity to be able to like pull a payoff, and then their title company that they worked for years, they're not allowed to do it anymore. The buyer has to do those things because of the Bureau of Insurance that came down. So what if his fee to do that used to be $35 and this other guy's is $125? So it's a way to cap it of that's fine. And I know this is has to do because now this is the law, but we're not going to, the seller's not going to pay any more than this. And you write in the blank. So that's the language that's in it. So come to me if you're really using the Virginia Realtor contract card, but I will tell you, LAR has just been tasked and Richmond has just been tasked. Roanoke has just been tasked. So anybody using their own forms, they have a deadline on this language being in that contract. So it's coming to Lynchburg anyway. So you're going to need to know what it is. And then Scott and I will have a class. All right. Charlottesville, where's George? I'll get with you, show you what to do if you're writing, because Charlottesville uses a Virginia Realtor contract. Okay. What do we have up? Carol Massey, our principal broker. And she's going to do vacation property investments, what you need to know, and then 1031 exchange. So that is going to be a very good class for Thirsty Training Thursday. And then, of course, Red Day. And I've got to show y'all something because as this silently went around the room, I have a big heart. Some of y'all know that. And I want y'all to see this. Y'all filled up the page. That's why we don't have class on Thursday, May 12th, because we're gonna all be gardening and painting and fixing and helping and giving back. And I love that. And then May 19th is our monthly sales meeting. And what do we always do at a sales meeting? We feed you. So come hungry. Shalai has been great about picking some different flavors. I enjoyed today. Did everybody enjoy today? Good. And then May 26th, Nanette is gonna do training for profit share. I know it's confusing and I sit down with all of you and I try to give examples because it goes 7 layers deep, it goes across, and it's just a great way when you join Keller Williams to have some passive income as you've been a LC meeting this morning right before here, and Tina and I get the opportunity to talk every single week on how can we do it better, because we can always do things better. So one of the things we can do better is you guys. And what does that mean? Guys, for you and others that's joined our company to make your profit share bigger, it means you grow the company. So with that being said, what we're going to be doing is collectively as a team on every Friday, and Tina doesn't even know this yet, so she's hearing it the first time because it just happened. Crystal is going to be pulling every closing from the DAs. She is going to get it immediately for the week. She's going to get it to Joe. Joe is going to be reaching out to you guys who's had a closing. This is what Joe's going to ask. The agent on the other side was Sam Smith with Remax. Is he a cultural fit for Keller Williams? That's what she's going to ask you. Y'all had a fantastic transaction and you think that Sam Smith was a cultural fit. Now who gets the list at the end of the day on Friday? Because my goal is every single Monday morning, I have a block time. And I'm serious about this, and I gotta stop looking at my phone when y'all call me because I love y'all so much and I'm not paying attention to my block time. So I'm gonna kind of do that and I'll call you back at 10. But I'm calling every one of those agents you had a closing with and setting up a coffee, setting up a lunch, telling them how was that transaction with Keller Williams? Could we do anything better? Your name keeps on coming up. Let's grab some coffee. That is my Monday from 9 to 10. So please answer Joe's call, because without y'all saying if they're a cultural fit, and if you have a transaction and she asked you that question and it was no way it would be dangerous for that agent to be here, just simply say, you don't need to go into specifics. Joe, you're so cute. You don't need to go into specifics because we don't really need to know. Just say, they're not going to be on my list. I'm not even going to get it. Does that make sense? But this will help all of us collectively grow the company. And who, when they're getting ready to close a transaction, ever calls back the agent they worked with after closing within a day? Who does it? True, raise your hand.
Not every time.
Okay, Greg, could you walk us through what you say?
So I always just call and I honestly just thank them for a smooth transaction. Then I just go over things like, because I'm a buyer's agent, like pulling their signs. I just set up a time for them to pull their signs, and then I just let my client know as well. So I just say, hey, thank you so much. I just wanted to call you and thank you so much for such a smooth transaction. And it was a really Thanks for, choosing our offer. I'd love to work with you in the future. Is there a time that would be best for you to pick up your signs and lockbox? They say, yeah, I could do it tomorrow. And I say, perfect. I'll let them know that you're gonna swing by.
So could you add one more sentence?
Yeah, of course. I could add probably a lot.
I really, right after you said, I really enjoyed doing business with you, how great would it be for you just to chat with our team leader at Keller Williams, just a cup of coffee, just to hear what we're all about. Now,
That's easy.
you know how great that is? Now I even have permission.
Yeah.
It's much easier for me on all my script training and everything, just so y'all know what I do. If it's a warm lead, y'all know what that is. There's a reason for the call. Instead of, hey, it's so much easier for me to say, hey, I just talked to Greg. Y'all just had an awesome transaction. I'd love to pick your brain and just discuss your business. How about we grab a cup of coffee? Other than going through the broker metrics report. Hey, this is Alice at Keller. I have there's no connected. And I'm not coming to Keller Williams. I don't want to meet for coffee. What is this about? Are you trying to recruit me? It's so much different when I have that connection. So help me to help us, to help you. Oh, I like that. Help me to help us to help you. We might have to write that one down. All right, and one more before we say thank you. Suggestion box. I'm going to get some index cards and put a suggestion box up front. Forgot to discuss this with the ALC, but I don't think for mine, for classes that you want to be trained. So Gary Keller asked us last week in leadership, and guys, I got to tell you, I didn't wear it today. I should have. I got the autographed t-shirt. So I have a Keller Williams shirt with Mark King on it, Jason Abrams, and the veteran, Carl Lieber, all signed. And it's so funny because where Mark King signed, he put a little heart, and it's literally right over my heart. Is that cool? So I showed him. I said, Mark, we're talking to him. I'm like, I'm this with Mark King, president of the company, on the 7th floor of the hotel with Lee Beaver, one of our vice presidents. And he goes, Alice, you're in good company with Lee Beaver. And I'm like, you see where that heart is? Your heart is on my heart, Mark. So that was kind of fun. But anyway, Gary said, as a team leader, I need to ask y'all this. And it's so simple, it's crazy. It's so simple. And he's such a genius man. He goes, what class could I offer you, Scott, that you would clear your calendar for? Because we're all busy, right? So what class could I offer you that you would clear your calendar for? So that's what I want y'all to think. And then put it down there and we'll fill up the training calendar. This is what we're here. Leadership is.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
I was gonna say shameless plug too, by the way. If you guys want to advertise in the backyard or Joe Beans, that fence behind the drive-through, I've got some slots left down there. A lot of people last year, I think Teresa had a picnic table at different places, so there are some open. So if that's something you guys are interested in, just come by.
All right, thank you, everybody. I'll be in Danville tomorrow. And Alicia Slaughter will be with me in Danville tomorrow. And Shalaya will be in Danville tomorrow.